Hey, world. Sorry, I was texting.
Fine. Live your best life.
Yeah. Everyone has just been texting me today.
Really? Why?
I don't know. There's just I guess a lot of stuff going on in the world.
Like what?
Well, my really good friend Patty Cakes. There's like a plastic haunted house on eBay that he wanted.
Uh-huh.
And someone just bought it, and I feel terrible because I want him to have it. It's beautiful.
Oh, since it's on eBay, it's like that item you're buying. It's
Yeah.
not like multiple items.
Yeah, so he just told me in a text that someone... Well, no, just one, but it was like for $100, so he bid it for $50, but someone just got it for $65, and I wanted him to get it because it was really... It's a beauty.
I had a... Speaking of like haunted stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I had to be down by like the financial district yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was walking, I was like looking up at like One World Trade, like the Freedom Tower. And I'm like, if haunted houses are real, this would be like the most haunted spot in America.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because every time we see like a haunted house, it's like, 19th century, 18th century in southern Connecticut or something like that. And they're in like the old Victorian garb or whatnot. But, 2,000 plus people died in one location, in one spot.
Ghost hunters should go there and see if they can do like readings there.
I mean, I'm sure it has happened, but they always go to this remote location in the woods, places that you already associate with being creepy.
Yeah.
And to me, that just shows that ghosts don't exist. Because if the World Trade Center, if that place is not haunted, then why would other places be haunted?
I think that is actually a really good point.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do.
Exactly.
I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Because it is so ingrained in us to think like the Connecticut-y places are haunted.
Yes.
And the creepy old houses. But if there is one place that should have a ton of things in limbo.
It would be Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
It would be the Great Wall of China. Would be so haunted. Chernobyl would be haunted. Think about that wall. Yeah. It would just be guarded by ghosts. Because when people died building the Great Wall of China, they just literally threw the dead bodies into the wall and then built the wall around them. That's how they did it. They were like, yeah. There was no graves or anything. They just literally were like, oh, a worker died, toss him into the wall, we'll mix him into the concrete.
Jesus.
And we'll keep the project moving. We got a schedule to maintain here.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait.
So why am I not just, walking through a crowd of ghouls and ghosts and spirits and stuff like that when I'm down by One World Trade?
Well, I will say I've never gotten my cell phone to work down there.
Well,
Never.
That seems like... So is that like a known thing for hauntings? Is cell phones don't work?
I don't know. Just kind of... I made it up, but not because it's not true. But it's true that I've never gotten my...
Wait. What? Is it true or is it not true?
I've never gotten my phone to work down there when I've been down there. But I'm making up that it could be a connection with ghost life.
Well, so you ever heard the term God of the Gaps?
No.
So God of the Gaps is like people that are religious and believe in God, but when technology or when science disproves something, they'll say like, oh, well, that's science, but the thing you don't know, that's God. And that's the God of the gaps gaps being the knowledge and the science that's proven. Mm-hmm. There definitely is a better explanation
I've never heard
of it.
Term, but yeah.
So like back then, we thought the world was flat. We thought God was in the sky. We thought all this stuff, right? He created light and all stuff. And then we learned, oh no, it's the sun. The earth is round, and above the sky is space. So it's like, oh, God isn't there, and he isn't these things. But what's the things you can't prove? Oh, that's what God is. Mm-hmm. So it's just keep finding the gaps, and the gaps keep getting narrower, and they keep getting smaller.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever watch like Stella Shorts?
Some Michael Ian Black.
Yeah.
I watched a few.
Walter and David. I don't know if his last name is Wayne or Blaine. There is
I watched a little bit of the show.
They have this one sketch that was so funny to me. They were like having a sleepover and they were trying to explain to each other what God was, but it was all like they were making fun of people talking about what God was. Mm-hmm. And one of them is just like, I think God is like a leaf. And it made me laugh so hard. It was so good. And they have this other sketch. Oh, I can't say it because explaining sketches is not funny. But if you are looking...
Well, yeah, it's not funny, but I'd like to do it. Yeah, no, do it. Because then we can break it down and deconstruct it. That's what a podcast is for.
No, I can't.
A podcast is literally the deconstruction of media. Okay, fine.
You're pulling it out of me. Okay, so there's this one sketch. I forget what it's called, but it's Stella Shorts. It's not like... It wasn't the TV show on Comedy Central. It was like, when they were...
Before that?
They were just like videotaping it on their own. And they had like a DVD that I got from a friend. And it's like... They're with these girls they meet at a pizza place. I don't know how to explain it. I fucking just painted myself in a corner.
So they're with these girls.
I'm not remembering certain connective.
Well, just you know what? Don't try to plan ahead and thinking. Just go through it moment by moment. So they're in a pizza place with a bunch of girls.
There's a line I really like, and they say, "Who do you like better, us or the pizza?" And the girls are saying that to the guys.
Yeah.
Like, basically, like, we're going to leave if you don't tell us you like us better than the pizza.
Yeah.
And then they're like, the pizza! You guys! The pizza! You guys! But they do that, I feel like, for 3 hours straight, and it just gets better and better, and...
That's comedy.
I just broke every rule in the book by doing this, and I'm so sorry to our viewers, because...
Or listeners.
That's not my thing.
Yeah.
That's not my thing. I think I just ruined it.
I was reading something that was explaining, like, what the perfect joke is. Mm-hmm. And I forget who said it, but they were saying... It was like a famous comedian was saying it. Mm-hmm. This wasn't just some guy tweeting it. And he said... I know it was he. It was a guy. It was a white guy. And he was saying...
Must be right. I hated it. I hated it that... He's gonna deconstruct what the perfect joke is, and now you're making it.
I'm not making it. I'm just saying.
Worse.
I'm not making it worse. I'm just saying what the reality is. Reality holds no bias, and that's the reality. It was this white guy. He was a straight white guy, and he was middle aged. He was a middle aged straight white guy, and he said that the best joke has the least amount of unique words. So what that means,
has the least amount of unique words.
So a sentence. It was Norm Macdonald, I remember. Norm Macdonald explained what the best written joke is. Mm-hmm. So take that what you take.
Wait,
whatever.
Are you going to say the joke?
So yeah, I'm gonna give an example of the joke. The reason why I remember it was Norm Macdonald because he gave the example. It was a Weekend Update joke. He said, and he gave an example of a joke that he thinks is like just a well-crafted joke, right? And what he means by unique words is it's not adding new words. So you can say the same words over and over, right? But it's not word count. It's a unique word count. So if I say I, the, Joe, I said 3 unique words. I, the, Joe. But I said 17 or 18 words.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So just like the smaller the amount of...
unique words. Mm-hmm. If you can make a joke based on with least amount of unique words, that crafts like the best joke because it means it's super articulate and that means it gets right to the point.
That's right in Twitter world.
Yeah.
Like no one's going to retweet you if you have a long clunky dunker.
Unless like that's like your bit is you at yourself a million times and you write like a long story and it's a long joke.
Yeah, I
like an anti-joke.
And myself.
Yeah.
Wait, so what's the joke?
So the joke was it was back in the 90s and Lyle Lovett and Julia Roberts.
Julia Rabbits.
Julia Roberts.
She was a rabbit.
Hey, get the paper. Did you hear what happened to Julia Roberts?
Rabbits.
She made another picture. Anyways, so Julia Roberts and Lyle Lovett got divorced. And the joke...
I know these are real people, but you're making them sound like fake people.
They're real people. Lyle Lovett and Julia Roberts...
Allegedly.
They really got... Not allegedly. Okay. They really got divorced. Oh, there are real people.
Yeah.
So, and the joke is that... I'm going to butcher it, but I'm going to try to say at least the least amount of unique words.
I ruined Stella Shorts for all of humanity.
I'm taking like a 1-minute explanation and I'm stretching it out into like 4 minutes.
We have to cut to the chase.
So, okay, here you go. So
it's
you want to
90 degrees in Queens today.
I
for
know.
Real. So
and
patience is going to be low.
And the studio, the studio in Queens.
Oh my God.
We're in the bunker.
It is a actual miracle that we're not sweating yet because it's 90 degrees today for real.
All right, so here is the joke. And Norm Macdonald goes like this. He's at the desk, and he's doing update live on Saturday Night Live. And he says, So Julia Roberts and Lyle Lovett got divorced.
Deported.
So Julia Roberts and Lyle Lovett got divorced. It happened when Julia Roberts realized she was married to Lyle Lovett. That was... Wait, let me read the joke.
Is he really lame or something?
So, yeah, he's like, but I'm not saying it's...
I think that's a good joke is if you know what he's like, but I don't know what he's like.
So the joke is... Oh, crap. Let me, Norm joke.
By the end of this pod, everyone is going to be an expert joke teller.
Yeah.
You'll see.
Okay, here we go. I got it. So Julia Roberts said that the turning... Oh, here it is. Wait, what? That's not even the whole joke. Why? They gave me just the last... They posted just the punchline.
Best part. Best fucking part.
Here we go. Okay, so Norm Macdonald has come close to telling the perfect joke. First of all, this is all subjective. And it's defining what a great joke is or whatever isn't...
Tell the joke, Joe.
So
we're so far on this journey with you.
I know. I led you guys down a long path to lead you to.
Okay, while you look for it, I'm gonna rail against
pile of shit.
I'm gonna rail against Donnie Darko in that lame scene where Drew Barrymore, the English teacher, is like the two most beautiful words put together in the English language is cellar door.
All right, I got it.
Disgusting.
Lyle Lovett and Julia Roberts are getting a divorce. Julia Roberts said that the turning point in their marriage was when she realized that she was Julia Roberts and that she was married to Lyle Lovett. So you see, it is funny. So saying it like that, so his phrasing and stuff like that and reading it is a lot better than how I retold it. But that's funny, and it has... a minimal amount of unique words. It's repeating a lot of stuff. A lot of people do that joke now. Yeah, just it's with different repeating people. The setup. Mm-hmm. And it holds some water to say it's the best style of joke is with unique least. I feel like Seth Meyers does that kind of joke a lot. Yeah, another update guy. Yeah. They must be friends. I think they hate it. There's a video I think of Norm Macdonald shitting on. What's his name? Seth Meyers. Like his pants are down and he's shitting on him? Yeah. He's verbally doing that. And he's like, who wants to get critiques from Seth Meyers? And putting emphasis on Seth Meyers. Anyways. Wow. That's fucked up. I don't know. Comedy's dead. Dude. I think everybody is a comedian now. And there's just the world is so... There's so much humor in the world that it's almost humorless now. Saturated. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely harder to rise to the top. But that's in a career outlook on it. I'm talking just in what's funny. Yeah. And I feel like there's just so much humor out there that's now the default for how to have a conversation. Yeah. People just do bits and you can't talk to anybody without it being just a conversation without humor. And I feel like now it removes the humor. Yeah. It's the element of surprise of something being humorous is such a big part of the draw. So if everyone's doing it, it's hard. And also, so much of life is sympathy laughs. And I feel like because everyone's doing humor now, it's a lot of forced laughter. It's a lot of laughing at people to be nice. I came up with a term for that. What? Happy heckling. Oh, happy heckling. So what it means is it's people that laugh either to get seen that they're in the audience. Mm-hmm. Do you ever do a show and someone's like, ha ha, ha ha ha, off time or just very loud? Maybe they're not doing it. They're doing it subconsciously. Or they'll say the person's name. They'll be like, Mary. Yeah, Mary. Yes, Mary. Yes, Mary. And it's not. You're interrupting a show by doing that, and you're making it about you. Oh yeah. People can do it subconsciously, but it's really the reason you're doing it is to draw attention to yourself. Yeah, for sure. And I hate it because you're not enjoying a show. You're being a part of a show that you're not performing at. Yeah, it's weird. It's that's why you just gotta do shows everywhere, because if you obviously in that scenario they're very comfortable on that turf. So you just gotta go to a place where no one knows you, because no one's gonna snap at you. They're gonna
boo the shit out of you.
Or if that's what you want. Like, there's people out there that are doing this as they're doing comedy as a hobby, and they just want like validation, and they just want to like feel good, and they're not trying to get careers. And if they just want their friends saying, "Yes, Joe, you're doing a great job," and they want like the pat on the back, that's fine if that's what they're looking for.
Well, it's really useful if you're building material, because if you're just building material, you don't want to go to a place that's just booing you. But if you're doing new material, if it's like your first night with new material, go to an easy place and then go to the place that's gonna boo your ass off the stage.
Yeah, so I think adding that second part is huge, because if you're working on material and people are gonna laugh at everything you say, then you're not gonna know what works and what doesn't work, and you're not gonna be able to edit and to craft your work if you're just everyone's laughing at everything you say.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait. So the last pod we did, we ended it with I had just seen Independence Day. Mm-hmm. Have you seen?
Of course.
You love?
Yeah.
Do you love
Welcome to Earth? Punches the alien in the head.
Will Smith is so cool in the movie.
That was peak Will Smith. That was back when Will Smith wrote songs for every movie he was in. No, he didn't write one for Independence Day, though.
No, Men in Black.
He did Men in Black, and he did Wild Wild West.
Also, Men in Black was such a similar movie.
It's.
Like, not really, but the brand is I feel like the brand is the same, where it's like cool dude, aliens, conquer.
And also American military. A lot of those movies like focus on like hoorah.
American exceptionalism.
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 And, Julia Roberts. American exceptionalism.
Julia Roberts is in both of them. Yeah. Oh my god. Imagine Julia Roberts
this July
in an alien
4th.
movie.
Will Smith and Julia Roberts.
And the alien falls in love with her, and then it becomes a rom-com.
Yeah.
Why can't a lady fall in love with an alien? Why not?
You know what movie I watched recently? Well, not super recently, but semi-recently. What? Was Mystic Pizza.
I've never seen it.
It's about Portuguese people.
Oh.
And as a Portuguese man,
I've never seen it.
You do not watch any movies with Portuguese people?
Never.
No, it's about a Portuguese family and a Portuguese run business. And I was like, oh, that's my people.
Wait, so do Portuguese people, are they into pizza?
No.
No, they're just...
No, not really.
Why do you think they started a pizza place?
There are a lot of Portuguese people in Connecticut and in Massachusetts.
Is it based on a true story? I know it's like a real pizza place.
Oh, my Lord. Let's dismiss... Let's just act like that didn't happen.
Time to wake up, Joe.
What was the question?
Is it
Portuguese people and pizza?
I know it's a real pizza place, but is it based on a, like, is the real pizza place owned by Portuguese people just like in the movie?
I assume because, so the screenwriter, because I actually went to Mystic recently. The reason why I saw the movie was because over Thanksgiving, I went to Mystic. And we went to Mystic Pizza.
The little town?
Yes.
Is it cute?
Yes.
I don't really remember it.
It's very like old New Englandy, like seaport town.
One of my best friends just moved there.
Really?
Which is weird, right?
It feels like a town you move out of.
Yeah,
not
it's
a town
weird.
you move to.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of like excited to visit her, because I'm like, what is this shit? I want to see it again. I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah.
I used to work at not that aquarium, but the Norwalk Aquarium in I don't remember what it's called, Maritime Aquarium.
Yeah.
And I would tell everybody. I remember everyone would be like, "What the hell do you do at the aquarium?" And I would tell everyone I was the shark feeder.
Is that true?
No, I would just tell people it. And then I remember once I was at a diner, like in my town. It was like in the middle of the night, and I'm not gonna say his name. Not that he would ever listen to this, but like, I ran into this kid from my high school who was like nuts. Like, I loved him. He was like awesome, and he was himself. But he's just like kind of crazy. And I had just stopped working there, and I don't know why I lied to him so bad, but I was like, I told him that I had just gotten fired, and he was like so nice about it. So obviously, like, I was a fucking shithead to like do this lie for no reason.
Why would you lie?
I was like, in my mind, I was joking, and like that he was gonna understand this was a joke, but he didn't understand this was a joke. So then I just felt guilty, and then it was too late.
Did you like lie to a lot of people?
No, it was like sometimes I would just have like the urge to tell something funny that was a lie.
Oh, so this was intended as a joke.
Yeah, I guess I just thought he was going to think it was a joke. So, but then it took a life on its own in that moment. And then I couldn't go back without it feeling like mean.
Yeah.
So I told him I got fired because while I was feeding the sharks, I fell into the tank.
That's so absurd.
I know.
And he believed you?
Yeah, he was like touching me. He was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?"
Oh, he sounds like a sweet guy.
Yeah, that's why I felt so bad to be like, "Oh,
no, I'm
this
full of
whole
shit.
time I feel like you just didn't understand this was a joke." So I was like, "I'm fine, you know me, resourceful. I got out of that alive." But then it was too late. So it's like to this day, not that he's thinking of it, but if he is, he's probably like, "Wow, weird."
I had a moment. I used to work at a grocery store, ShopRite, in Manchester, and there was like a new kid, and I like always wanted to. I'm like was never cool, and I always wanted to be cool, right? I just want like people to know me and people to like me as a person and to be popular, but that wasn't the case. And there was a new kid.
Class.
Do you have a class on popularity?
How to be cool 101.
So
it's $3.50.
Well, that's not bad. It's
a
good price. So there's a new kid, so I'm like, oh my God, I can like this kid doesn't know that I'm not popular or cool. So I had to give him a tour. And I was like 16 years old. And I walked, there was this old guy who used to work like sweeping the floors and stuff. And so I would say like, I'd be like, oh, I know, I know people, I can introduce you to people. And so they make it seem like I was the cool guy. Oh my right? God. And so this kid was very quiet. And I knew I can kind of get away with being cool in front of him because I felt like he was nerdier than me.
What does being cool mean? Like you were skateboarding?
Just popular, not cool. Just cool as in like popular, and people liked me, and I had a lot of friends. So I was introducing him to people because I didn't know people, but not like hung out with people. So I did like people knew who I was, but just. So I'd introduce like, hey, this is, John, or this is Timmy, or whatever. And there was this old man, I forget his name, but he was like sweeping the aisles. And I was like, hey, what's up? Let's say it's Glenn. I don't know his name. I'm like, hey, what's up, Glenn? The guy goes, don't you fucking talk to me. Swear to God.
He was like the janitor?
He was like some guy, but he was mad or something. And he told me, he's like, I'm going to get my son to kick your ass.
Oh my God.
He's like, and he just like snapped for some reason because I was like acting cool. I was like, hey, what's up, Glenn? Like acting like a fun kid.
Oh my God.
And he just like, I think he took that as he just took that as disrespect.
Yeah. Maybe it was 90 degrees and he was just like not
No, it was nice and cool. It was like the dairy aisle. It was cold. Like he was by fridges. So he was like cleaning and he was like, don't you fucking talk to me like that. Like, don't you talk to me. It's like, I'm going to get my son, I'm going to kick your ass. And started like kind of screaming at me. And I was kind of like, yeah.
This is just our thing.
And then
do.
I kind of like, hey, that's exactly what I did.
You did?
Yep.
I thought that only happens in movies.
So we walked away and I just looked at the kid and I was like, I know, we're messing around.
And what did the kid just didn't give a shit,
he just was like
in his own world.
Yeah, he was like, "What the fuck?"
Did you not have a group of friends in high school?
No, I did. I'm not saying I didn't have friends. I definitely had friends, but I wasn't this cool, super cool person that I was portraying. That I wanted to portray, and I wanted to be.
What group were you in?
I was.
Or were you not?
So in high school,
not like that.
Now the high school I went to was a vocational state school.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this on a previous pod.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a high school for a town. So it was a bunch of kids from like different parts of the state. So my high school wasn't like a lot of kids from my town that I like hung out with. So I hung out with kids from like East Hartford. Yeah. So some of the kids were like from East Hartford High School because I was from East Hartford. That's were kind of like my main kids I hung out with. I got kind of cooler as I turned like 17, 18. We used to throw like parties in my garage during the summer.
Good.
That was fun.
Were you in a band?
We played a little bit. I was in a band. We never performed.
Okay.
We were in a band called Medicine Man.
That's a good name.
Based on a lyric from a Red Hot Chili Peppers song.
Medicine Man, that's a cool name.
And oh my Lord, you're bringing back so many memories. So there was like pillars outside of ShopRite, and I etched the name Medicine Man into one of the pillars, and I spelled medicine wrong.
How did you
I just spelled it wrong.
You should take a picture of it.
So I'm sure I do have a picture of it, but I got yelled at. The daughter of the owner saw it, and she was like, "Did you do this? Like you're basically like defaced the building." And she like yelled at me to the point where like I was so nervous and scared. I'm like, "Don't tell my mom," because my mom got me the job there. She used to be a cashier there at the grocery store, And I was like, don't tell my mom.
I defaced a bunch of buildings too in my day, and it was, I guess it was like a white privilege thing because I never got arrested and I never really had any consequences. Yeah. But oh my God, what was I gonna say? I can't remember.
You defaced buildings?
I did deface buildings, but I was gonna say something else. Oh my God!
You know what we used to do?
I can't remember.
We used to buy big 40s of like soft drinks and stuff and put them in the road and watch cars crash into them.
That stuff is fun.
It's like, it was that just towny shit.
Yeah, me and my friends would drive around with my friend.
I mean, it's property damage. It's property damage.
Yeah, well, what's property between friends or strangers in that case? Me and my friends would drive around. So, like, 7-Elevens where all the teens would, like, park and hang and, like, sit on their cars and, like, smoke or whatever. And me and my friends would, like, drive by the 7-Eleven with an old-fashioned camera that, like, would flash really bright. And we would, like, flash it in their faces and drive by really fast and be like, who are you wearing? What is your... Who made your dress?
Like you're a paparazzi?
Yeah, like we were pretending we were paparazzi. We would do so much fucked up shit to the teens in our town. Like, we would stalk them. We would just, like... If they got in their car, we would just, like, drive and stalk them for hours. Actually, I definitely had to answer to cops a couple times because of that. Because sometimes they'd get scared and they'd call the cops and they'd be like, "What? You know, why are you following this car for, like, 3 hours?" I'd be like, "I don't know. I thought it was my friend."
I mean, thank God, like, I didn't grow up in the age of, like, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Because I feel like my life would already be canceled. I'd already be canceled.
I know.
Or just kids growing up now know that everything's more public, and maybe they just act differently.
I bet
which could be a good thing.
I bet they don't really care because they're teens, so they just like aren't thinking about the consequences.
But maybe like, cause I wasn't raised to think about consequences and stuff, so maybe parents who have teens really say like, what you do will live online forever, and can stop you from getting into college and from getting a job.
Yeah. I just don't think it sinks in. I'm just thinking about how I would have been back then.
But that's the thing. See, you're viewing it through your perspective. I think we don't know what it's like to be a teen with all of this technology now.
I know, but we know what it's like to have a consequence that could affect us after it happens. So it's like, I remember how like me and my friends would drive. Like the way we would drive was insane. And like there was this road in back of my house that was kind of steep, and before my friend would drop me off, we would, like, try to hit 100 going down it. And, like, we knew what a car accident was. We knew what, like, being paralyzed was. And we would just be like, meh.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, we gotta get to 100. There was just, like, there was nothing in our... I don't know. It just didn't... fear didn't connect yet.
Yeah.
So I feel like you'd still be fucked.
Yeah. I think, you know, I'm assuming there are, like, still... bad actions that teens do, of course, like driving and stuff like that. Did you ever used to race when you were younger?
All the time.
Like, yeah,
I was literally bad. Like, I should be in jail or I should have been in juvie. I was fucking bad.
Yeah.
I was like, I wasn't mean. Like, I feel like in my, if I was trying to make me seem like a good teen, like I was nice to people, and I feel like I tried to be like fair and not a bully or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like, I did like dangerous shit, and I definitely like wasn't thinking about what it could mean for other people to do the dangerous shit. Mm-hmm. Like, it was just like, we gotta do this stuff because it feels good in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely did, looking back, dangerous stuff, but I was never mean as well. I always wanted people to like me. Yeah. That was my main, I just wanted to be liked.
I just didn't want anyone to be sad.
Same.
And, like, my high school was so stereotypical in how it had groups. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what I was to other people, but I felt like I had a lot of friends and stuff. And I was bullied really bad, too, but I always had a lot of friends. And so when people didn't have a lot of friends, I would feel so bad and, like, need to take them in. Yeah. And it was, like, I felt like teens are, you know, kind of like people say they don't have empathy yet or whatever, but I feel like I did for real have empathy.
I think teens have empathy. They just don't. Yeah, I think they just don't project. They don't show it. They don't emote it. Yeah. Like, it's internal stuff. Like in movies or in TV shows, like these teen CW shows, when they're getting yelled at, they're from their parents, they're always like talking back and expressing like, "Dad, no," but like nobody. I feel like teens just kind of sit there quietly while they get yelled at and just kind of like don't make eye contact. But really, internally, they're internalizing all of this stuff. But to go back to what you said about friends and stuff, but I feel like like even now you have like a lot of friends. You're very not popular. I guess I would say popular. I would say you are popular.
That word just makes me feel
It
like,
is.
It makes
You're
me
the
feel
queen bee.
squeamish.
You're the queen
the
bee.
Queen bee.
You're queen bee.
That's not true.
No, but you are very popular, and you're very liked.
Queen.
Everyone loves you.
Everybody
loves you.
Queen bee makes me feel weird. But
you're not the queen bee.
Being well liked, that sounds good. I like that.
Yeah, you are definitely liked by a lot of people, and you have a lot of friends, and you have, I think, not just when I say friends, I don't mean just acquaintances. I think you actually have friends. Like you have a lot of friends, which is good, and I think very healthy.
I hope so. I think to me, friends have always been family. Yeah. So it's like I know that is like such a trite.
It's like
thing to say.
like your Vin Diesel in the Fast and Furious movie.
My friends are my family, baby.
Familia.
My family. But that's just how I've always viewed friends. It's like you have to make your own family for like who you feel comfortable with, and sometimes I don't know. I just feel like but it's like I work at it. It's not like it doesn't come easy. Like I put a lot of work into it, and I do a lot of like cultivation of it, and I like do a lot of like I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't like I feel like it's not natural. It's like I feel like I work with it, and I want that to happen, so like I try to make it happen.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Do you not feel like you have a lot? I feel like everybody loves.
Do they?
Loves Joey and Erdo too.
I don't know. I think I have a lot of acquaintances. I think I know a lot of people.
Feel like you have, but I feel like honestly, I think the only difference is that you're married. I think life is just different when you're single versus married.
Maybe with
friends.
But like, I wish I had more friends. But like, I think I focus a lot on things that need to get done. I think a lot of it is self-imposed hurdles, where I come off very open. Yeah. But I don't think I'm not as open as I think I come off. And I think that, you know what I mean? Like,
So you think you're pretending to be open?
I'm not pretending to be open. I think I've developed a persona really? That I like. I like to call myself an extroverted introvert. Yep. So like which I think a lot of performers are. Yeah. Like we have our personality, and I get like very anxious and nervous in large groups. Mm-hmm. And I'm very introverted. I'm a very introverted person, but everyone thinks of me as like very outgoing. Yeah. And
because I do too until you told me.
No, I play
it's not the
outgoing.
Real you.
No, I play outgoing.
Yeah.
I enjoy. One of my favorite things to do is plant a little seed for a conversation, and then have people like talk, and I just sit and listen and laugh. I like to be an audience member.
So you're a psychopath?
Not a psychopath. I just like to I like to focus on the mood of a room, but I don't. I don't know. I just don't really open up. I feel like I could be more open. I'm like working on that. I'm trying to be like more emotionally available and like open, but yeah, I'm actually very closed off. I'm very much a performer. What I'm trying to say is I'm fake as fuck.
I don't know what I am.
No, I'm not fake. I'm just nervous. I'm just an anxious, nervous boy. I try just not
to think about it, because it's like, whatever anyone thinks about me, someone else is going to think someone else. So if you say I'm well liked or whatever, someone else is going to say the opposite and be like, who's that? Or like, everyone hates her. But I don't know. I just like, I feel like allegedly shrooms has helped me.
Well, shrooms remove the ego.
Yeah.
Shrooms, that's like one of the great things about shrooms is it kind of, all that wall that we build from childhood into adulthood, crafting that character of the adult version of you, shrooms knocks down that wall temporarily.
Yeah, and I feel like even though it's temporary, I feel like it has a lasting effect of openness and trying to see things from different sides and just being like really open-minded. And I mean, it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't like, it's not going to be the same for everyone, obviously, but I feel like it has helped me, like, while tripping, it has definitely helped me to see things from different points of view and to see things that, like, to see positivity in things that I couldn't see in before.
Yeah.
Like, and also, it just makes you so childlike for a few hours, which is really nice.
Which is the real, I think, any type of drug or any type of, like, meditation that brings you back to that childlike feeling of emotions and, like, person and self is really the true version of who we all are.
Yeah.
Hiding if you see, like, an adult animal, like an old man animal, and they're playing, they play just like a puppy.
Yeah.
Right? They're frolicking, they'll roll on their back, they want their belly scratched. Same thing a puppy does. A puppy doesn't turn into a dog and then change what it thinks is fun or play. They're just held back by either, like, medical issues like bad hips or something, but their mind is still the same as a puppy. I think that goes for all animals, including humans, but we have to put out a version of ourselves because of societal reasons. Like, we have to act a certain way in society. So we're just performing adult when really we're just all just children that just grow wiser. We're just wise children. That's all we are.
Some of us. Also, like, the ceremony of shrooms, I think, is really helpful because, like, making a place that, like, a safe place that you want to do it in and know that you'll be there for a few hours, and just kind of filling the time with very, just, like, relaxing stuff. Like, if you want to look at this coloring book, or if you want to paint this, like, little thing, and just even, it makes a place that you're familiar with be a new place. So, like, I did it in my parents' backyard last year. It was in November with my friend. I guess since it's drugs, I shouldn't say names. But I'll call him Bobo. That's my friend Bobo, and we did it in my parents' backyard in November.
His real name is crazier. Bobo is the tame nickname.
No one was there, so it was like it was just us. But, like, it made the yard a completely different place and made it feel like an enchanted forest that I had never been in before. So I feel like how it changed the yard and made it a different place I had never been before, it kind of does it with other things too. Like, it does it with, like, if I have something going on with a person in my head, it can kind of flip it a little and, like, make that a different thing too. And it sort of, like, even though it's only going to last for 5 hours, like, I bring, like, some of the things that it shows me or happens to me while it's happening, I bring with me when I'm not tripping too. And it, like, I don't know, it's just, like, a really nice thing to do sometimes.
It basically gives you a new perspective on the world.
Sometimes.
That's not restrained by your preconceived notion of things.
Yeah, and color. Color.
Yeah.
I allegedly did that on Saturday at the beach in Cape Cod, and it was, what it did to the ocean was, holy fucking shit. It was just, like, it made the ocean, like, this, it looked like a bunch of turquoise paint that was, like, coming in to smother us, and it just looked so cool. And the clouds were already really weird, even if you were on nothing, but, like, on shrooms, like, holy shit, it looked like it was hell opening up, and, like, but, like, in a cool way.
Yeah.
Not in a scary way, but in a cool way. It looked like hell opening up and trying to, like, drag you into it. I don't know. It was wild.
Denver is trying to decriminalize. Or they did, or they're trying to, or something like that.
Yeah, and they're still...
Oh, no, they just voted to decriminalize it.
Today? Or, like...
Well, just recently. So
good.
Shrooms is now decriminalized?
I think it is decriminalized there.
No, yeah, so it is decriminalized now in Denver.
Thank God.
Which is a beautiful place for...
Yeah, I would love to do it there.
Shrooms. The mountains. I keep telling my wife, I'm like, let's go to Denver.
I've never been.
Same.
But I know I would love... I have a lot of pictures of Denver on my computer saved just because it looks so pretty.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Do you... what's the best place you've traveled to?
I haven't done a lot of traveling, but I think what I said on the last episode is going out west, Nevada, California. but I haven't seen a lot.
Yeah.
What about you?
I've done like the LA, which is basically, it just feels like a manufactured city.
Yeah.
Like money creates bland cities. I feel like because they have to build so fast, there's no art or architecture. They try to force like a sense of community, and it just
and too much money makes like a concentration of very uninteresting people. I
went to Amsterdam last year. Mm-hmm. And that was beautiful.
That sounds fun. Did you get stroop waffles?
No. Did I? Maybe I did.
So.
Maybe I did. No, but I didn't like do any drugs or anything like that because I had to do a work thing. I was doing a gig. Mm-hmm. But I walked around a lot. There was
I want to go there.
My flight. So I was supposed to leave on like a Sunday, right after this like event I was doing, and then they're like, "Well, it's actually cheaper to fly you back into New York the next day." And just extend your hotel stay. That saves us money. Wow. Would you want to do that? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
So I literally I woke up late and I just wandered around Amsterdam and it was beautiful. I went to Boom Chicago, actually, the improv theater there. Oh. And it was just fun to watch improv, this thing that we love to do and love to watch and are in a community for New York City. Seeing it done in Amsterdam, which is time zones away, and seeing like this very American art form be done in Amsterdam in Europe.
What do you think of them?
It was fun short form. It was basically short form.
Okay.
But I started doing short form, and I'm not like there's people who like to shit on it. It's just cabaret theater. It's just it's dinner theater, and I
can't believe people would shit on short form. That's so obnoxious.
Dude, an improviser shitting on anything is the dumbest thing in the world. Improv is just, and it's just silly.
Yes,
it's fun to do. We all love it. Oh, no. Instead of getting laughs, I get, woo, you're happy heckling. It's just like, if you're crapping on any art form, anything you're doing, it's like an interpretive dancer crapping on like breakdancing. It's like, well, they have set, breakdancing is they have a certain set of moves they do, and it's not real dancing. It's like, dude, you're all dancers. Shut up.
It's just snobby for no reason. Mm-hmm. Short form is funny. If you were at a short form improv show, it'd be really fun. Yeah. Sometimes long form, it takes too long to get funny, so you should have both.
I've had the time of my life performing short form. I've had the time of my life performing long form.
I don't think I've ever done short form, but I think it'd be so fun.
I
would love it.
The last team I was on at UCB, before I stepped down, I had our coach, Stefan. Stefan was coaching us.
Yeah.
And Stefan Schwitt, if he watches.
Hey, Stefan.
He was like, whatever you want to do, Joe, this is your last rehearsal. And I was like, I want to play a short form game. I want to teach everybody a short form game, and I want to watch it and play it. And I got to like host it and do it, and it literally was one of the most fun things. I just, again, planting that seed and watching.
Yeah.
I taught everybody it, and I just sat and I laughed, and I was the last, and I got to perform in one as well. But that first one where I didn't perform, I just got to watch it. I got to tell you, it's so fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I used to watch it after school.
Whose Line?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's influence. There's a reason why all these improv theaters make money now, or at least are just in business at least.
Yeah.
Is because of Whose Line, the popularity that Whose Line gained in England and then America. We owe a lot to.
We
Whose
owe
Line.
everything to Whose Line.
Didn't
Drew Carey host it?
We got to build statues to Drew Carey, to Colin Mockery, to Ryan Stiles, and Wayne Brady.
Wow, you know all their names?
I used to watch it all the time. Oh my god, I used to watch it with my family.
I never know anyone's names.
I used to watch it with my father, my mom, and we used to laugh at it. It's just fun, silly, very physical comedy, very call and response. You have to do this now, and then you respond to it, and it's a reaction, and people laugh. It's you're not thinking.
Yeah.
The whole don't think thing applies more to short form than it does to long form.
I feel like it'd be really good for kids too.
I taught kids, and we have CT Improv up in Hartford, Connecticut. Check them out, SEATEA Improv. Yeah, they do family shows and stuff like that. It's perfect for kids.
Okay, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but
okay. I'm pretty much done with what I'm talking about.
I'm just thinking about
Rant
it because
over.
I watched an episode last night. Were you a fan, because we're around the same age, I think we're like 1 year apart. Were you a fan of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
So the fans, yeah, I will answer that question.
Okay.
People keep asking us, Rosie has to show her face. She keeps hiding behind the microphone. And I told her this before we started recording. I was like, she needs...
I know.
No, don't move things.
No,
everything is set perfectly.
The thing is like I'm very slouchy, so it's like my body just like slouches down.
But you just need to slouch this way.
Yeah.
I know. The fans, I'm trying to help you.
Are people gonna hear me though if I go like this?
They will hear you as long as you're slouch and then turn your head that way, and then you're good.
Okay.
Okay, you're good there.
Okay, you can kind of see like my forehead right now. You know what? That's
good,
all you need.
All right, so ask that question.
Were you a fan / did you watch Are You Afraid of the Dark as a kid?
It scared me.
Oh my god! But did you watch
that
it?
and Goosebumps? I watched a little bit of it.
It's supposed to scare you.
It was. I watched Snick. Right, that was on Snick.
It was the best part of Snick.
It was the closing thing of Snick.
Yeah,
I remember it was the last thing they aired before going to bed, which was great, like fuckery there.
Yeah, because then you were trapped on the couch and you couldn't go upstairs. If you had stairs.
Yeah,
I had stairs.
I had stairs
as
well.
So does that mean you didn't watch it?
I watched it a little bit, but it made me scared.
Okay, so you don't have like your favorite episodes or anything?
No. I don't remember much of it, mainly because it scared me, so I kind of blocked it out of my memory.
Okay, well, I watched an episode last night, The Tale of Apartment 214, and it is... Okay, so sometimes, like when you go back and re-experience something and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I like this. Are You Afraid of the Dark is like the opposite. I'm like, I want to be watching Are You Afraid of the Dark all the time. And there are shitty episodes. Like, as it went on, I think, like, I didn't connect with it, but there are episodes that are so good. Everything I want to screenshot. Everything is so weird and cool and like 90s strange, and like the dialogue is really funny. And there's this scene where I don't know. There's just this scene that looks so good, but if you haven't seen it, I can't really explain it.
What's the scene?
The scene is this girl blows off this old lady in the apartment building that she lives in to go see a battle of the bands with a girl she wants to be friends with because the girl's like cool. Mm-hmm. She was supposed to visit this old lady. She promised her, and she blew her ass off. But this whole time, the old lady has been dead, and she doesn't want to be alone.
Oh.
And then the mom goes out to dinner one night, so the girl is alone. And she goes to see... She is, like, being haunted by this old lady. So finally, she goes to the apartment, and the old lady, like, there's nothing in the apartment. All of her furniture is gone. Mm-hmm. And then she finds a painting that the old lady painted of them drinking tea together on a couch, and it is so eerie and awesome.
Yeah.
And then she looks
It's psychological.
Yeah. It's like, this old lady's fucking manipulative.
Yeah.
As hell. And so she looks up from the painting, and then all of her furniture is back in the apartment, and the old lady's there in the room. Mm. And I'm explaining things terribly today. Basically, she explains that the day that she was blown off was the day she died.
Oh, that's good writing.
It's fucked up.
That's fun.
It was really fun. And it was like, so it's not scary anymore. And like, you kind of laugh at the scary parts now.
Yeah.
But
it's still like a good story.
They do a good job at making it scary. Yeah. Especially for kid. Like, there's really good scenes, and I just was like screenshotting the entire episode. I have like 1,000 photos from the episode now on my computer because it looks so cool.
What's more scary to you? Like jump scares or scary visuals, or like scary storytelling? Like a movie like The Shining versus The Exorcist. That would be like a great comparison.
I think it all depends like how it makes me feel when I'm alone. Like I don't know what is scary until I go home and I'm alone.
I see. And is it like topic too? Like some topics scare you?
Yeah.
And some don't?
Like sometimes killer stuff can be scarier because it feels, like it could happen. But I was literally just telling my friend before I got here that the movie that made me feel the most gross when I came home was The Black Coat's Daughter. It's like a satanic movie. And, like, nothing happens. Like, you barely even see Satan or anything. Or it's like, it's pretty much just like these 2 or 3 characters and like really nothing happens. There's never like a scene where a bunch of gore or like demons things happen. But like the atmosphere they created, and it was like winter and at boarding school, and my apartment, like I watched it in the winter and it was like snowy, just like the movie. And my apartment is like the ground floor, so I can hear the basement, all the heat noises, and it sounded just like the heat noises in the basement. There's a lot of basement scenes, and they sounded the same. And I live alone, and my landlord lives above me, but she's never home. She like pretends to live there, but she doesn't. So I'm just like alone in this apartment and hearing all the noises from the movie all night, and I was like, Jesus Christ. Like I watched it at my friend's house, and coming home and showering was like the worst shower of my life. It was terrible.
What year is this movie?
It was probably like 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, so it's not like a 70s gritty movie. It's a recent movie.
I didn't even think I liked it, and then I got home and it was just like destroying me. So I was like, I guess that means it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
I gotta say, for me, it's not like the biggest thing that scares me, like visually, like Siamese twins.
Really?
Freak me out.
Is it because of The Shining, or
no? The idea of like twins being stuck together. It's like scary to me.
Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. I thought you said something else.
Oh, like twins, because The Shining, the twin girls.
In general, yeah.
Oh no, like Siamese twins, like it
actual just stuck together.
Like it just like looks, I don't know, it's like a bad mutation or something, and it used to scare me a lot as a kid. And I remember this very scarring moment, and I don't know if it's like offensive to say I'm scared of Siamese twins or not. I don't.
Definitely is to Siamese twins.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're probably like hurt. They're like, oh my god, we're just people that happen to be stuck together. But like Siamese twins don't really like live a normal life, right? It's so like their personalities are kind of different than like normal, because they're not just going to the bank. They're not like going to work.
Homeschool kids.
It's like high school. Yeah, it's times. That is the best way to put it, and that is what scares me the most. They're just this weird. They're like, their personalities are slightly off. It's almost like Alien, like aliens trying to figure out.
You can't call them alien.
I'm not calling them alien. I'm calling their personalities like as if an alien were to pretend to be a person. Like it's almost like a uncanny valley for personality. Yeah. And they're just so like every time they're interviewed, like we live great. We're stuck together. But I love my brother and da da da. And it's just something about it, and the look in their eyes freaks me the fuck out. This is true. This isn't true anymore. This is true. This isn't true anymore. But like when I was a kid, it scared the hell out of me. And I remember I was late at night, and I had this very small TV in my room that had like a little VCR in it. And my father he installed this thing. It's almost like what they have in hospitals to put the TVs up in the corner of the hospital room. And so I had the TV up there. I was laying down. I was looking up at the TV, and I was flipping through the channels. It was super late at night, probably like 2 a.m. for like a kid. And I was like, staying up for me was like, oh, I'm staying up and breaking rules. So I'm flipping through the channels, and I get to the Howard Stern show. Do you remember when it was on the E Network?
No.
Well, Howard Stern used to like show on the E Network, like late at night, and he was talking to two people, and they had like their heads together. It looked like they're just kind of like in love. It was like I believe it was a man and a woman, and they had their heads together, and he was just interviewing them, and he just looked like he was like very interested in these people. It kept cutting back and forth, and I didn't really understand what was happening until I realized like they had a weird energy about them, and then I realized their hair, right? Like the hair on one head kind of went to the other head, and there was like a line, and they were connected, and apparently they shared like the same skull, so their brains were up against each other or something like that, and like they look normal up until you get to the deformity, up until you get to the conjoinedness, the part that makes them Siamese. Like that part looks almost like the movie The Thing. It just like looked like a weird mutation, and then it like warped back into what a normal person looks like. And once I realized what that was, I like freaked out and grabbed the remote, and I turned off the TV, and I couldn't sleep. Was that the first time seeing? No, but like that was the first time I was like staring at something I didn't know what it was. Yeah. And so Siamese twins scared me to hell when I was younger. And I told this story. I was very vulnerable. I used to work at a bank briefly.
You worked at a bank?
Yeah, I was a teller at a bank.
How old were you?
Like 19.
You were a teller at 19?
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
I was like making minimum wage and just working at a bank.
I worked at a yarn store.
That sounds fun.
It wasn't.
So I just mentioned this because it was around Halloween time. And I was like, yeah, when I was younger, I was really scared of Siamese twins. And I thought it was like in the past, right? And one of the girls,
one of the other around and they had another person attached to them.
They removed a hat, and there was like a little boy.
Oh my God.
So.
Well, we know what our first controversy is
I
now.
know, but it's the truth. The thing is, is it controversial if it's true? And I'm just saying what my truth is. It's not true now, but as a child, I was terrified of Siamese twins. Anyways, to conclude the story, I mentioned this to this girl, and she was like, oh, she just kind of like, that's interesting. And then days later, or like a week later, she goes, hey, someone, like a secret admirer left you a card. They must really like you. Because I'm very like charming. I try to be like charming and nice to customers and like be helpful. And like some people liked me at the bank, like customers. And she was like, someone left you a card. Because that happens every once in a while. Like a customer will leave like a gift.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, oh my God. And I see this card, and it's an actual card. It says like, to my favorite person. And I opened it up, and it was a bunch of pictures of like Siamese babies that were dead.
Oh my God. What?
It was like a bunch of like black and white photos of like Siamese children that weren't alive. And I like freaked out and like, oh, and like they all laughed.
Dead from weren't alive.
And they
Much better.
They all laughed. Like
that
everybody thought it was a prank.
That is such a
she made the
so
card,
fucked up.
and I was like kind of playing with like, haha, and it just reminded me like, oh no, I'm still scared of.
Wow, what
Siamese
a strange,
kids.
Mean prank! Yeah. Oh my God. Okay,
yeah.
It has nothing to do with this, but it only reminds me of it because it was so mean. I have a fear of mayonnaise. I don't even like saying it.
I love mayonnaise.
I have to laugh when I say it because it makes me so uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And everyone knows it. It's like, everyone knows like who was in my orbit at the time. And my friend was mad at me because this is not true. He thought I egged his car, but I didn't egg his car. This is
one of those.
So stupid.
Is this like shit. Is this teen or 20 stuff?
Yeah, teen. I was a teen. Hot teen. And so he thought I egged his car, but I didn't. So to retaliate, he put a bunch of mayonnaise in a Ziploc bag. I feel like for some reason you're going to love this. Mm-hmm. He put it in a Ziploc bag and then put it in August underneath all of my door knob handles. And it was my first day of work at CVS.
I used to work at CVS.
Yeah, me too. Well, obviously I just said it. So it was my first day of work, and I was running late, which is really scary on your first day. I was running like 5 minutes late. And I went like this, and before I even could smell it, I knew what it was, just because like my fear of it is so strong. Yeah. It's just ingrained to me to like fear what it would feel like. So I like went like this to my car handle. I immediately knew it was mayonnaise, and I just started like screaming. I was just like, no! Why, God, why? And I just like run into my house and like scrub my hands for like 5 minutes, and it was like August, so it like smelled like them.
It was also clear a little bit. Like when mayonnaise like cooks, it gets clear.
Yeah, it wasn't like white and like
but it loses its opaqueness.
It was just oily.
Yeah.
And I washed my hands for so long with dish soap, but my hands still smelled like it, which is like for me was terrible. So I don't know why I'm still friends with this person. That was evil. Yeah. Evil.
It's just kids stuff. Kids like to prank.
Yeah. We did a lot of really bad pranks on each other.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell them all, but we did some good pranks.
Have you done a good prank?
I hated that one. I've done a lot, but I'd probably have to like think about what is like the best one.
I tried to do a prank and failed. Well, not really failed. It just never happened. Like
I've had a lot of those, like things I think are gonna be amazing, but then they don't work out.
Like a year ago or 2 years ago, my wife went to the bathroom to get ready for like going to bed, like brush her teeth or whatnot. Mm-hmm. And I was laying down on the bed and I was like watching like something, and I'm like, I should just go behind the bed and crouch down and like jump up and scare her. So I literally went to the side of the bed and crouched down. Yeah. And then it like took her a while to get ready, so I was down there for like 5 minutes, which is a long ass time. Like five counting 5 minutes out. So I was literally like sitting there like laughing, like this is gonna be funny. I'm just gonna jump out, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, what is the purpose of this? So I got up and laid back down in bed, and then she came in, and I'm like, she has no idea. She saw me laying down, and then she left, and then I was like on the side of a bed waiting to do a prank, and then I like thought this was dumb, so I got back in bed, and then she came in, and she's like, hey, and I was like, you want to hear what just happened? And she's like, what? I'm like, I thought it would be funny if I'd like hide on the side of the bed and jump up, and I was there for like 5 minutes because you took you like too long to get ready, and she was just like, okay, I don't.
Was she like divorce court?
Well, this is before I proposed, before we got married, so she still said yes. But anyways, she was just like, okay, I don't.
She's a saint.
Yeah, but it's just I felt so stupid. Like after like minute 2, I was like, this is too long.
Yeah, that's a long.
I'm too invested.
I have done a lot of waiting things. Okay, so this is the stupid. This isn't a waiting thing, but for some reason, I was like in community college after high school for a while. Literally only to stay on insurance because I was on medication that was so expensive that if I stayed in school, it made it cheaper. Yeah. So I was just like taking random classes to stay on insurance. And now you know everything about me, world. And before I would go to class, I would go to Dunkin' Donuts and get an egg and cheese.
Ooh.
And every single morning they would put a huge hunk of meat on it, and I would say egg and cheese, no meat, but I don't know. So every day they would put a huge chunk of meat on it. My friend, who I always would prank with, was still in high school because I was like a year older than him. And every day I would drive to his school and throw the meat on his car windshield. And it was like far away. He went to like a private school in a different town. So I would drive like my money was precious. I made like minimum wage. So I would drive like 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back, just to throw a hunk of meat on his windshield. Yeah. And it was...
You invested.
Those were the days.
Yeah. I had one more prank and then we have to leave.
Yeah. I have so many pranks.
This prank was successful.
Good.
And I did this once. Everyone
deserves a win.
Yes. And I told my wife about this. She did not like it. So we've talked about this prank after I've done it. It's insane. But I will say the prank on the pod.
Do it.
So... in our old apartment, our air conditioner used to be like kind of right next to the bed, right? And you would be turned on and be blowing the air onto the bed where we're sleeping, and it was a very hot summer day,
kind of like
which
today.
Turned into a hot summer night. And I ate a bunch of just like crappy food, and I was having like horrible farts, like just like nuclear. They were hot. They were hot coming out. Like, you know, you have that sharp pain in your stomach, and then you can smell it before it comes out. Like, you know from the heat that it's gonna stink. It's gonna be sharp. Anyways, so I'm lying in bed, and I used to always, because my body burns a lot hotter, I always used to lie next to the air conditioner. So what I did once was I turned my body sideways, because I sleep with just my boxers on. And I pulled, so I'm bare ass facing the air conditioner, and I farted like at the air conditioner, and because the air conditioner like sucks in air, and then it blows out air.
Well, it sucks it from the outside.
No, it sucks it from the inside. It cools, it recycles the air in the room. The outside is just to vent the heat. It's just an air conditioner. How it works is it just it takes the heat from inside the room and puts it outside. It's just a heat transfer. Anyways, so that big front part of the air conditioner, I like farted towards it. It sucked in the heat and basically turned it into a jet engine and blew it out into the whole room.
Oh my god, I'd be so mad. That's not a prank.
So
how is that a prank?
I don't know.
That's just your bodily function.
So it's late at night.
A prank is something you like think out and it's clever.
This involved clever. This involved technology.
Pull down your boxers. This is the laziest prank I've ever heard in my life.
It basically was like a jet engine.
The prank was just, I don't feel like going to the bathroom.
So what ended up happening was, since we had it, we didn't want the air to blow directly onto the bed. We tilted the thing up so it basically blows cold air above the bed, and the cold air kind of falls onto the bed. So I farted into this thing. It sucked in the fart and just shot it onto like almost like a blanket above the bed, and it just came down like cold, stinky fart. And she was just like sound asleep, and she just goes, oh.
Woke her up.
Woke her up.
Oh my god.
Woke her up. It was Glorious.
I can't believe we're ending the pod on something you thought was a prank.
It's still a prank.
That's like I burp right now and I blow it on you and I'm like, gotcha! Gotcha, Joe!
Alright, maybe it's not a prank.
Getcha.
Anyways, yeah.
It's been great talking with you.
Yeah. It's been good talking to you too.
Please subscribe.
Hey, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We had to put a new one up because there was issues with the old one. There's just issues.
We were hacked by a demon.
Exactly. We'll say that. And find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, all that stuff. Like and subscribe. And hey, rate and review us. That really helps us out if you rate and review us. And what else?
Introduce yourself. We want to know who our fans are.
Yeah, the only people who talk to us are the people that complain about Rosie not being in front of the camera. We've gotten multiple comments saying...
I don't think it's going to happen,
The girl needs to show her face.
I don't think I will be doing it anytime soon. Like, I think I'd have to...
It's part of the pod now.
I think I'd have to grow 5 inches or get a different mic stand, and I don't think either is happening.
You're like Wilson from Home Improvement.
I like it being mysterious like this.
No, that's too much. That's too much.
We can...
You need just the eyes, at least.
Yeah, maybe just the eyes.
Yeah. All right, we gotta go.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.